workstation. So the last video you saw most of the track base work being done, and this video is just going to be another sort of quick update. I've decided not really to do a detailed how-to on my track bed work because I've been learning it as I go along. And I've had a lot of help from other people with it, so I don't think it's fair for me to sort of take credit for the techniques that are already out there, but I'll talk through what I've done at the very least. So if we look at the original track plan, for those of you that may have missed it, we've got this section at the bottom here is the old dock area. It's sort of like the south part, and then this section going up here is the section in front of you, and so on. So the idea is to have this sort of as the dock area and have this as some form of station area. Again, the track work is a guide, it's not a set in stone piece at the moment. I've been sort of having other ideas as I go along. For example, this sort of area here, what was going to be some form of T&D, isn't really going to fit, because I mean if you look at the flat edge there, it's not a reality with the baseboards, just because of I've got a chimney breast there, so this bit is a bit narrower. These are 2-foot boards, and then to get round sort of the rest of the section, that's set further back, as you can see there. So in reality that space is actually the smallest bit, and I think it's unlikely I'm going to get anything in there, especially with the curves that'll be coming around there. I'm going to try and leave that quite open. I may put something here maybe, or maybe in that back area, but certainly at the moment the idea is just to have the 2 tracks running through, and maybe even have it sort of here, some sort of service area, which is there. So that's the flat area at least anyway. And then the raised track area. I did mention in the last video I was going to redo this section, which I have done. Now if I move, so it's now, instead of just being in different blocks and screwed together, it's now one solid piece, which helps with the transition of the gradient to be a lot smoother, especially since there's going to be some point work pretty close there. That's set back further, and it carries on down that way. So the middle bit there going up 2 inches, and the one going down, and there is another one just at the back there going down as well and under. So that's now set back into one sort of solid piece, and I think that works a lot better. The only bit where there is a transition is this join here, but that is going to be so slight that I'm happy with it, that it's pretty much near the end of the gradient there. There's very, very slight join, but it is what it is. It has to be there. There's no other way of me sort of getting that as one solid piece. So it is what it is. And then obviously that goes up and round, and you'll see that this area here is now finished. It's going to be quite a large dock area, and I've screwed in this other piece that was out, put that back in, so I've got quite a large dock area, which gives me a lot of scenic options, and means that I don't have to try and squeeze track in, because obviously a lot of dock stuff is quite large for gantry cranes, containers, etc. So I want it to look fairly, well, I don't want it to look pretty dense and compact. The idea is maybe to have some form of road going out there, so this will be some form of road bridge going out, so that will be sort of the road traffic in and out there into an off-scene area, and then this will be the dock area, and then this even more further load section is the water. It is pretty large, but then the reality of it is if container ships are coming in, you know, it's not just going to be like a little river, it's going to be a pretty large dock. So this area, I mean, may come out and drop off and sort of have it as that to give a bit more room, but at the moment that's the plan. So that, say for example, a ship could come in there, as you can see in the drawing. But again, all just ideas at the moment. I've got it in. There will be a bridge there. I haven't put wood in because I don't know what bridge I'm going to use. I may be getting one of these sort of laser printed MDF kits. I may make my own. I may go with some. I don't know. There's so many options out there. I've left myself the option to put something in, so there will be a bridge joining that there. It isn't just some form of dip off into the water there. And then here will be some form of local platform, which maybe serves as a you know, you've got water passengers coming in, jumping on the rail there and going off on some form of branch line with the main line going in the back. And then sort of coming further around here, you can see the main line carrying on there, going down 2 inches back to the baseboard height, and I've got this branch line coming up and sort of joining there. And again, you can see rather than just being straight like the main line, I've put a nice little curve in there just for some variation. You know, it just makes it look a little bit better rather than straight lines, but and also to get the maximum radius curve, I wanted to start it further out than round rather than coming up here and having a very tight curve there. Just gives me a bit more room, and you can sort of see how I've penciled in the line of where the track will go there. And these are 4th radius curves. He says, I think they're 4th radius, they are. Just to sort of give me an idea of where they'll go, and you see those curves go around there, quite nice. 4th is perfectly fine. And then brings you back to the 2 main running lines. So that's pretty much what I've done. I sort of talked through a bit more, I think in the last video, about how I've done this track work, but the whole theory of it is when you sort of look at it at this level, you've got 3 heights. Now this height here no, I'll tell you what, let's spin it around and start here, where you can see the height of well, this is the original height of the baseboards. These ones haven't been adjusted, and then you can see there, this is where the heights start to change. So we've got one coming down 2 inches, and I know that looks quite steep, but it's not. In reality, I've measured it all out. I think it's a 3%, 3.5% gradient, and it looks sharper, I guess, because this one is going up at the same time. So if you take that into account, you know, that one's going up whilst that's going down, so I think that's why it looks pretty harsh. So we've got this mid-level here, the main line going up and the branch line going down. As we pan over, we see where they then join. So we've now got what would effectively be, there'd be a line here, which was the original baseboard height, and this is 2 inches lower, and this is 2 inches higher, which gives me 4 inches. So I've created a 4-inch gap in half the space by pushing one up and one down at the same time. So this gives me this nice area here, and I've got options for bridges or whatever there. And then I've then got this section here, which is again another 4 inches lower, just to create some, you know, deep water. And then we push back here, and we can see that this area is the same height as that. So this is 2 inches lower than the original baseboard height, and this is 2 inches higher than the original baseboard height. So the original baseboard height would have been somewhere in here. Panning along there, nice big open dock area, nice main line running across the back there, and then pretty much in reverse from here, the main line starts declining 2 inches, and here the dock lines will start inclining 2 inches. And again, measured those out, they're about 3.5 to I think this is 3.5 to 4 again on this one here, percent gradient. Looks harsher because that's coming down whilst that's coming up at the same time. When they reconvene back at the original baseboard height there, and back round. So by having it flat there, I've got a lot more variation in height this side, and sort of this area, the sides and the main dock area, has given me a lot of variation in height. And again, all I've done is put plenty of supports in, and just measured them very carefully, and with a spirit level took my time, measured 3 times, cut and screw once. There are, as I say, plenty of supports in there, and I think I showed you in the last video it's really strung up and put my whole weight on this and sitting it myself. So, you know, it is just a case of spending a bit of time planning, measuring, and having an idea. As long as you get the concept that you're raising and lowering at the same time, this should make sense. If it doesn't, I do apologise. I can't think of a better way to explain it. But yeah, so now, with all the track bed work in, all I've got to do is give it a bit of a tidy up around here. As you can see, there's tools and bits everywhere. And then I'm going to start putting in the backscene. So I want to put the back scenes in before I start putting track down. So one, so I'm not reaching over, and two, so I've got an idea of what's going where. I've been only knowing about what to do for back scenes for quite a long time. So there's so many people that have done so many different ways of doing things as well. I was just going to go with sort of a plain blue background, but I kind of want imagery. So I was out at a model shop and they just happened to have some of the ID Backscene's premium range in. So I couldn't resist and just bought some. So and again, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I've got some N-gauge back scenes and some double N-gauge back scenes. So those are the larger ones, obviously the double O, and these are the N-gauge. And the N-gauge is for these sides here, because I've got the slant on that roof and the height of these. If I put a double O in there, I'm not really gonna see much of the back scene. It almost seems a waste. So for example, if I take the height of the double O and put that in there, it's, you know, at the level of the baseboard there, and it's not straight, it's hitting that and it's sort of at an angle. And again, you can see we're only going to see, well, just over half of it. It seems like a wasted back scene. So I went for these N-gauge ones, which I can sort of push here, and then I can still get some back scene for underneath there as well. Whether there's going to be a scale issue, I'm not sure, but rule number one, it's your railway, do what you want. I'm going to try it out, and then have the N-gauge rolling across here, just because of the slant there. As you can see, hopefully if I put that in there, that the N-gauge one just makes more sense. I'll get more imagery in, and then I'll obviously use the double O for the main back scenes here. So I'll actually get quite, you know, I'll see pretty much the whole height of that. And again, on the other side, I'll be running across there. Now, the next question is then, what back scenes have I gone for? Well, there's nothing really specific, but I really wanted something with some form of water there. And the only one with any sort of water and dockish area was the industrial area, pack A. And there is, as you can see, let me see so it doesn't roll away. There is some form of water here. Now, I don't know whether that's gonna sort of sit well there, considering, as I said, it needs to be some form of large area, but I'm gonna give it a go and line that up and see if that sort of fits in that area there to sort of give some flow off to the background. And then we've got a bit more of the industrial area for sort of like the docks. And then for the station side, I've gone for the suburbs, because I want it to be not complete countryside. I want it to be a little bit towny, but I want the green leafy stuff as well. So we've got a bit of built up area there, which I think will be quite nice. And then obviously for the sides, we've gone for straight leafy green hills and dales. That's for one side there, and that there for the other side, just to create some variation. So one's a little bit more open and one's a little bit more dense, so it's just sort of not the same all over. But that's what my next video I think is going to be on. But yeah, as you can see, all the track work is done and things are moving forward. So I'm going to leave this video here. Thanks for watching and sticking with me. I really hope you're sort of enjoying this journey with me, and sort of, even if it's not your sort of cup of tea, the whole multi-level open frame stuff, that you're sort of maybe even just learning a thing or two that you can maybe adapt on to your railway as well. But yeah, great, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Cheers, bye bye.